Welcome to the Midnight Chronicler. Before we begin our journey tonight, I invite you to settle yourself. Find a place where your body is fully supported. Adjust your pillows. Pull the blanket up to your chin. Let the weight of your day slide off your shoulders, dropping away like heavy garments you no longer need. Each evening, I bring you a new story from history, a place to rest your mind as you drift towards sleep. Tonight, we are leaving the Earth. We are traveling to July 16, 1969. To a small room on the coast of Florida. To a morning that hasn't quite started yet. For the next 90 minutes, you will not just hear about the moon landing. You will live the quiet, methodical reality of it. You will experience the mission not as a series of highlights, but as a continuous, rhythmic flow of time. You will learn the feeling of the sheets in the crew quarters. The smell of the pure oxygen in the suit room. The precise texture of the switches in the cockpit. The exact shade of black outside the window. This is a story about patience. It is a story about the slow, deliberate movements of humans inside a machine. Tonight, you are Neil Armstrong. You are known as the Ice Commander. You do not panic. You do not rush. You observe. You analyze. You drift. The mission is waiting. The rocket is breathing on the pad. The moon is hanging in the dark. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. In and out. Let the gravity of Earth hold you one last time. Let us begin. It is 3:47 a.m. The darkness in your room is total, save for the faint amber glow of the digital clock. 3, 4, 7. You are awake before the alarm. You have been floating in the shallow waters of sleep for an hour, your mind drifting between dreams and checklists. The room is quiet. Not silent, but quiet. There is a low, constant hum from the air conditioning. It is a steady drone. A B-flat note that never wavers. It is the sound of the building breathing. You lie still on your back. You feel the mattress beneath you. It is firm, military grade. You feel the cotton sheets against your legs. You feel the pillows supporting your neck. Focus on this sensation. Gravity. You feel heavy. Your arms are heavy by your sides. Your legs are heavy on the bed. Your head is heavy on the pillow. This is the embrace of the Earth. It pulls you down, holds you safe, keeps you grounded. Memorize this weight. In a few hours, this sensation will vanish. In a few hours, you will unbuckle a strap and float upward, light as dust, untethered from the world. But for now, you are heavy. And it feels good. You slide your legs out of the bed. Your bare feet touch the floor. The linoleum is cool, smooth, solid. You stand up. You stretch your spine. You hear the small pop of a joint. You are a biological organism, made of bone and muscle and blood, preparing to enter a world of aluminum and titanium and glass. You walk to the bathroom. The lights are fluorescent, buzzing faintly. You turn the handle of the sink. SSSHHHH. The water flows. Clear, clean, warm. You cup your hands and splash it on your face. It runs over your skin, dripping from your chin. Water. The most common thing on Earth. The most precious thing in the universe. Where you are going, there are no rivers. There is no rain. There is no humidity. There is only dry, ancient dust. You dry your face with a white towel. The fabric is rough, exfoliating. You look in the mirror. You see a man of 38 years. Blue eyes, thinning hair, a face that reveals nothing. You are calm. Your heart rate is 60 beats per minute. You are not excited. Excitement burns energy. You are saving your energy. You are a battery, fully charged, waiting to be used. You dress in comfortable clothes. A yellow polo shirt, dark trousers, soft socks. You walk down the hallway. The manned spacecraft operations building is quiet at this hour. The floors are polished to a shine. Your footsteps echo softly. Click, Click, click. You enter the dining room. Buzz Aldrin is there. Michael Collins is there. They nod. You nod. Morning, morning. There is no need for big speeches. You have trained together for thousands of hours. You know each other's breathing patterns. You know how they clear their throats. You sit down. The chair is hard wood. A steward places a plate in front of you. Steak, eggs, toast. The astronaut's breakfast. Low residue, high protein, fuel. You cut the steak. The knife scrapes against the ceramic plate. Squeak. You chew slowly, methodically. You drink coffee. It is black, hot, bitter. You feel the warmth travel down your throat, into your stomach. Dr. James Miller, the flight surgeon, sits nearby. He is watching you. He is looking for signs of stress. Trembling hands, sweat, rapid breathing. He sees nothing. You are eating breakfast just as you have eaten breakfast every day for 40 years. Outside the window, it is still pitch black. But in the distance, miles away, floodlights are bathing a 363-foot-tall obelisk in artificial day. You finish your coffee. You place the cup down. Clink. It is time. You enter the suit room. The air here is different. It is scrubbed, filtered. It smells of isopropyl alcohol, rubber, and talcum powder. It is the smell of a hospital, mixed with the smell of a mechanic's garage. Technicians in white coats and caps are waiting. They are the vestals of this temple. They move with quiet reverence. You strip down. First, the bioinstrumentation. A technician wipes your chest with cold alcohol. It evaporates instantly, leaving your skin tingling. He peels the backing off a sensor. He presses it to your skin. Tap. Smooth. He tapes it down. Another sensor. Tap. Smooth. These wires will carry the electric rhythm of your heart to a console in Houston. Your heartbeat is no longer yours. It is telemetry. It is data. Next, the liquid cooling garment. It looks like long underwear, made of spandex and nylon. But if you look closely, you see the engineering. Woven through the fabric is a network of clear plastic tubing. 300 feet of it. You pull it on. It is tight. It compresses your muscles. The tubes press against your skin. Later, cold water will circulate through these veins, a personal river to keep you from boiling. You zip it up. The sound is sharp. Z-zip. And now, the A7L. The moon suit. It hangs on a rack, white and headless. It looks like a shed skin of a giant. It weighs 180 pounds. You sit in a reclining chair. The technicians bring the suit to you. You slide your legs into the boots. The material is stiff. It resists you. You have to push. The technicians guide your feet. They lace the inner booties. Pull. Knot. Tuck. You stand up to pull the torso section up. It is heavy. It drags on your shoulders. It feels like wearing a quilt made of lead. You slide your arms into the sleeves. Your hands emerge from the metal wrist rings. The technicians swarm around you. They are checking pockets. They are closing zippers. There is a long zipper that runs from your crotch to your back. It is a pressure seal. A technician runs a wax stick over the teeth of the zipper to lubricate it. He pulls the slider. Grr click. You are sealed. You sit back down. They bring the gloves. They slide over your hands. The fingertips are rubber, blue. The palms are woven metal mesh. You align the wrist rings. Click. Twist. Lock. You flex your fingers. The gloves are stiff. You have to fight them to make a fist. You open your hand. You close it. Open. Close. It is a workout just to move your fingers. Finally, the helmet. It is a bubble of polycarbonate. Clear. Perfect. The technician lowers it over your head. For a moment, you hear the ambient noise of the room, the fans, the footsteps, the whispers. Then the neck ring meets the suit ring. Clack, snap, silence. The world is cut off. The sounds of the room are gone. Suddenly, there is a hiss. Oxygen flows into the helmet. It smells crisp, metallic, cold. You are in your own atmosphere now. You are an island. You hear your own breathing. Inhale, exhale. It sounds loud in the bubble. You hear the static of the radio loop in your Snoopy cap. Comm check, Neil. Loud and clear. Your voice vibrates in your jaw. You look at Buzz. He is suited. He looks like a white statue. You look at Mike. You are no longer men. You are spacecraft components. You are packaged. You are ready for shipment. You waddle to the transfer van. The suit forces you to walk with a wide stance. You are carrying a portable ventilation unit, a suitcase that pumps air into your suit. It hums in your hand. You climb the steps into the van. You sit in a reclining chair. A technician plugs your suit into the van's air supply. Click. The cool air rushes over your chest. It dries the sweat on your back. The van begins to move. You look out the window. It is still dark, but the sky is turning a deep, bruised purple. You pass the marshes. You see a heron standing in the water, watching the van pass. A dinosaur bird, watching 3 men go to the moon. The road is smooth. The tires hum against the asphalt. Far ahead, the vehicle assembly building looms. A box the size of a mountain. And past it, Pad 39A. As you get closer, the rocket dominates the window. It is glowing. Xenon floodlights wash it in brilliant white. The liquid oxygen tanks are so cold that ice has formed on the skin of the rocket. Sheets of ice, falling off in the humid Florida air. Vapors curl off the side, drifting down like slow waterfalls. The rocket is hissing, groaning. It creates a sound that you can feel through the glass of the van. A low-frequency moan. It is a bomb, a controlled bomb, and you are going to sit on top of it. The van stops. You disconnect the air hose. Pop. You pick up your portable unit. You step out into the humidity. The air outside is thick, salt-heavy. You walk to the elevator. You step onto the elevator. The gate rattles shut. Clang. The gears engage. The cage begins to rise. You watch the ground fall away. The Launchpad is a concrete canyon, shrinking with every second. You rise past the massive fuel lines, pipes as wide as tree trunks, frosted white with ice. You rise past the first stage, the SIC, a wall of white metal. You rise past the second stage. You rise past the third stage. The air gets thinner. The wind picks up. At 300 feet, the breeze is steady, tugging at your suit. The elevator stops with a jolt. You step out onto the swing arm. It is a narrow metal bridge suspended 320 feet in the air. You look down. Through the metal grating of the walkway, you can see the swamp far below. Alligators, birds, the tiny dots of cars. You walk across the arm. The structure sways slightly in the wind. A gentle, rhythmic creaking. Creak, creak. It feels alive. You are walking onto the branch of a very tall tree. At the end of the arm is the White Room. A small, climate-controlled chamber sealed against the rocket. You step inside. Genter Vent, the pad leader, is there. He is the gatekeeper. He checks your pockets one last time. He checks your helmet seal. He smiles, but his eyes are serious. He pats your shoulder. Good luck, Neil. You turn toward the spacecraft. The hatch is open. It is a small, square mouth. Dark inside. You grasp the bar above the hatch. You swing your legs in. It is awkward. The suit is bulky, stiff. You have to twist your body, slide your boots over the couch, and drop your weight into the seat. You are in the left seat. The commander's position. You lie back. The couch is contoured metal, covered in fire-resistant cloth. It holds you in a fetal position, knees up, back curved. Technicians swarm over you. They connect the hoses. Oxygen, click. Communications, click. Biomed, click. They strap you in. Shoulder harness, lap belt, crotch strap. They pull the straps tight. Tighter. You are pinned to the seat. You cannot move your torso. You can only move your hands and your head inside the helmet. Buzz climbs in next to you. Then Mike on the right. The three of you are wedged together. Shoulder to shoulder. Knee to knee. The technicians leave. The hatch is swung shut. You watch it close. A heavy slab of metal. Thunk. The handle turns. The latches grind into place. Grind. Click. Then, the boost protective cover hatch closes over the window. The light changes. The bright Florida sun is gone, replaced by the artificial glow of the instrument panel lights. You are sealed. You are a component in a closed loop. The air in the cabin clears as the environmental system kicks in. It is cool, pure oxygen. Silence settles over the cockpit. There is only the hum of the inverters, the whir of the glycol pumps, the sound of your own breath. Inhale, exhale. Now begins the wait. T-minus 2 hours and 30 minutes. You have nothing to do but lie there and exist. You stare at the panel in front of you. The main display console. It is a landscape of gray metal. Hundreds of switches. Toggle switches. Rotary switches. Push buttons. Rows of circuit breakers, looking like gray teeth. Gauges with white needles resting on zero. Every switch has a purpose. Every breaker has a consequence. You know them all. You have memorized the position of every single one. You close your eyes for a moment. You can see the panel in your mind. You listen to the rocket. It is not silent. Beneath you, 6 million pounds of fuel are boiling. Liquid oxygen at minus 297 degrees Fahrenheit. Liquid hydrogen at minus 423 degrees. As they warm up, they expand. The metal skin of the rocket groans. Groan. Ping. Clank. It sounds like a submarine diving deep, or an old ship settling in the water. And it moves. The rocket is so tall and so thin that it sways in the wind. Lying on your back, staring up, you can feel it. A gentle rocking sensation. Left, right, left, right. It is hypnotic, like being in a cradle. A cradle on top of a bomb. Time drifts. T-minus 1 hour. You run through the checklists. Guidance alignment. Check. Propulsion tank pressures. Check. Event timer system. Check. Your voice is flat. Monotone. You are stripping away emotion. Emotion uses oxygen. Emotion clouds judgment. You are ice. You look out the small side window. Through the heavy tint, you can see the sky getting brighter. The sun is rising over the Atlantic. Rays of light hit the capsule. Inside your suit, you are comfortable. The air flows over your skin. You wiggle your toes to keep the circulation going. You flex your fingers. You wait. T-minus 30 minutes. The launch pad is cleared. The technicians are gone. The vans are gone. For miles around you, there is no human life. Just 3 men in a metal cone and the birds in the marshes. T-minus 15 minutes. You move your hand to the abort handle. It is a T-shaped handle near your left knee. If the rocket explodes on the pad or starts to tip over, you will twist this handle. Solid rocket motors on the escape tower will fire. They will rip the command module away from the Saturn V at 10 gigaseconds, outrunning the fireball. You rest your glove near it. You do not touch it. You just know where it is. T-minus 6 minutes. The swing arm retracts. You hear the motor whine. You see the arm pull away through the window. You are disconnected from the Earth. There is no bridge back. T-minus 3 minutes. The firing room checks in. Booster, go. Retro, go. Guidance, go. Surgeon, go. Capcom, Neil, we are go for launch. Roger, we understand, go. T-minus 50 seconds. Power transfer. The lights in the cabin flicker for a millisecond as the spacecraft switches from ground power to its own batteries. You are now an independent spacecraft. T-minus 30 seconds. The silence in the cockpit is absolute. You tighten your grip on the armrest. 10, 9, 8. Ignition sequence start. Far below you, pumps the size of cars begin to spin. Turbines whine. Fuel meets oxidizer. 6, 5. The engines light. You feel it instantly. It is not a push. It is a shudder. The rocket clamps are holding the beast down while the engines build to full power. The vibration shakes your teeth. The instrument panel blurs. 2, 1. Liftoff. The clamps release. The sensation is sudden. The lurch of a skyscraper leaving the ground. You are flying. You do not shoot upward like a bullet. You rise slowly, majestically. You can feel the struggle. Gravity pulls down. Thrust pushes up. The noise is a physical weight. It is a roar that bypasses your ears and vibrates your chest cavity. It is the sound of the world tearing apart. Tower clear. You are past the metal structure. Roll program, you say. The rocket tilts. You feel the rotation in the seat of your pants. You are turning onto your back, heads down, feet up, flying out over the ocean. The vibration gets worse. It is called the pogo effect. The rocket bounces like a giant spring. Shake, shake, shake. Your vision blurs. You cannot read the numbers on the dials. You just watch the colors. Green is good. Red is bad. The G-Forces arrive. 1 G normal. 2 gigaseconds. You are heavy. 3 gigaseconds. Your chest is compressed. Inhale. Hua. Exhale. Hua. You have to force the air in and out. 4 gigaseconds. Your face feels melted. The skin is pulled back toward your ears. Your arms are pinned to the armrests. You could not lift them if you tried. You are traveling at 6,000 miles per hour. You are riding a controlled explosion. Inboard cutoff. The center engine shuts down to reduce the acceleration. The shaking calms slightly. Then, staging. Boom. Explosive bolts fire. The massive first stage falls away. For 1 second, the thrust stops. You are thrown forward against your harness. Weightlessness. Your stomach drops. Then, slam. The second stage lights. You are crushed back into the seat. The vibration returns, but it is different now. Higher frequency. A buzzing in your bones. The sky outside turns from blue to indigo. Then to a deep, bruised purple. Then, black. You are leaving the atmosphere. The air outside is gone. Shut down. The second stage dies. Then the third stage lights. It is smoother now. A steady push. You are high enough that the ride is like an electric train. Smooth, silent acceleration. You watch the numbers on the computer. Velocity is climbing. 15,000 miles per hour. 16,000. 17,000. Seco. Sustainer engine cutoff. The engine dies. Silence. Absolute, ringing silence. The vibration stops instantly. The heaviness vanishes. You are floating. The checklist floats up from your knee. Dust motes dance in the cabin air. You are in orbit. You unbuckle from the couch. You float to the window. And there it is. Earth. A curved horizon of impossibly bright blue. Clouds painted in swirls of white. It is silent. It is peaceful. It is home, and you are leaving it. Trans-lunar injection. The final burn. You strap back in. The engine fires one last time. It pushes you. Hard. Faster. Faster. 20,000 miles per hour. 24,000 miles per hour. Escape velocity. You have broken the chains. You are no longer orbiting. You are traveling. The engine cuts. You coast. For the next 3 days, there is nothing but the drift. The spacecraft enters the barbecue roll. A slow spin to manage the heat of the sun. Round and round. 3 times an hour. Through the window, the sun blasts in. Blinding white. Then it slides away. Then the black of space. Then the earth, shrinking. Shrinking. It is hypnotic. Sun. Shadow. Sun. Shadow. You unbuckle. You float. There is no up. There is no down. You push off the wall with a single finger and drift across the cabin. The air is cool, filtered. The hum of the fans is the only sound, a white noise that masks the ringing in your ears. You go through your chores. Navigation checks. You float to the sextant. You look through the eyepiece. The stars are fierce, unblinking diamonds. Antares. Regulus. Vega. You align them with the limb of the earth. You measure the angles. You enter the numbers into the computer. Verb 37. Noun 01. Enter. The computer chimes. It is a comforting sound. You eat. You open a plastic pouch. Rehydrated shrimp. It is pasty, but you are hungry. You squeeze the paste into your mouth. You chase it with water from a squirt gun. The water forms a perfect sphere before you swallow it. Time has no meaning here. There is no day. There is no night. There is only the mission timer ticking upward. 050 hours. 060 hours. 070 hours. You sleep. You slide into a sleeping bag tethered to the wall. You zip it up. You let your arms float in front of you. The zombie pose, natural for the relaxed body in zero gravity. You close your eyes. The ship creaks as it cools. The thrusters fire occasionally. PHHHT, PHHHT, soft puffs of gas to keep you steady. You dream of the moon. You wake without an alarm. The internal clock in your head is synchronized to the mission timer. 075 hours. You float out of the sleeping bag. You rub your face. It feels puffy. In zero gravity, the fluids in your body shift upward, settling in your head. You all look slightly congested, faces rounder than usual. The moon face. You push off the wall and glide to the window. You stop. You catch your breath. The moon is no longer a disk in the sky. It is a place. It is a massive, looming presence that fills the entire porthole. It is terrifyingly three-dimensional. It hangs there, a giant ball of grey plaster, scarred and pitted. You can feel it now. You have crossed the invisible line. The equigravisphere. The point where the Earth's gravity gives up the fight and the Moon's gravity takes hold. You are falling toward it. Houston, Apollo 11, you say. We are approaching LOI, lunar orbit insertion. This is the big one. You are currently traveling fast enough to shoot past the moon and fly out into deep space, never to return. You have to slam on the brakes. You have to fire the big SPS engine to slow down enough for the moon's gravity to catch you. And you have to do it blind. The braking maneuver happens on the far side of the moon. You will be out of radio contact. No telemetry. No voice from Houston. No help. T-10 minutes to loss of signal, LOS. You, Buzz, and Mike strap in. The playful drifting is over. The helmets are back on. Gloves locked. You check the computer. You're looking good, 11, Capcom says. His voice is tinny in your ear. See you on the other side. Roger, Houston. You watch the signal strength meter. The Earth is disappearing behind the curve of the moon. The static rises. Hiss. Crackle. Silence. Absolute, deep space silence. You are the 3 loneliest men in the universe. You are physically cut off from all of humanity. If something goes wrong now, no one will ever know. You will just be a silent tomb orbiting a dead rock forever. You don't speak. You don't need to. You watch the timer. 0-100. Burn. You hit the button. The engine roars to life behind you. Since the ship is turned backward, the thrust acts as a brake. For the first time in 3 days, gravity returns. You sink into your couches. It isn't crushing like the launch, just a firm, steady hand pushing you down. You stare at the velocity gauge. The numbers are tumbling down. dV, delta 5. Change in velocity. You need to shed exactly 2,917 feet per second. If you burn too short, you bounce off the atmosphere and fly away. If you burn too long, you crash into the surface. The engine rumbles. The ship shudders. The vibration travels through the frame and into your spine. It feels mechanical, industrial. Shut down. The engine cuts. Weightlessness snaps back instantly. You float forward against the straps. Did it work? You look at the computer. Noun 20. The numbers are steady. The orbit is perfect. You are captured. You are now a satellite of the moon. Look at that, Mike whispers. You turn the ship. The window rotates. And there it is. The lunar surface is sliding beneath you. It is only 60 miles down. It is rushing by. It looks forbidding. From Earth, the moon looks smooth and white. Up close, it is a wasteland. It is a monochromatic desert of gray sand and sharp shadows. There is no color, just shades of charcoal, slate, and ash. Craters upon craters. Big ones with jagged rims. Tiny ones inside the big ones. It looks like a battlefield that has been bombed for 1 billion years. It looks desolate, Buzz says. Like a plaster of Paris cast, you murmur. Gray beach sand. You are flying over the Sea of Tranquility. This is the target. You scan the ground, looking for landmarks. You have studied the maps for years. You know the names of craters better than the streets of your hometown. Maskelyne, Moltke, Sabine. But looking at them through a window is different. The shadows are long and pitch black. The sunlight is harsh, unfiltered by air. It is distinct, alien. Suddenly, a brilliant blue arc rises over the jagged lunar horizon. Earthrise. It is small, delicate, and vibrant blue. A marble swirled with white clouds, hanging alone in the infinite black. It looks fragile. You can cover your entire home. Every human being who has ever lived, every war, every city, every ocean, with the tip of your thumb. But you cannot stare. You have work to do. You float back to the tunnel. You unlock the hatch to the lunar module. The Eagle. It is time to wake up the lander. You open the hatch and smell it. The Eagle has a distinct smell. Strange. Metallic. Like a brand new car, but sharper. You float inside the LM. It is cramped. There are no seats. You will fly this thing standing up. The skin of the walls is so thin you could punch a hole through it with a screwdriver. This is not a sturdy ship like the command module. This is a spider made of gold foil and aluminum sheets. You power up the systems. Lights flicker on. Oxygen flows. Mike remains in the command module, Columbia. He is the ferryman. He stays behind to keep the ticket home safe. You and Buzz are the explorers. You look at Mike. He floats in the tunnel, looking at you. He knows that in a few hours, he will press a button and undock you. He will watch you fall toward the surface. He knows there is a good chance he will be flying home alone. He doesn't say it. He just gives a thumbs up. You seal the hatch between you. The locking mechanism spins. Thunk. You are separated. Eagle has wings. You say into the radio. The signal is back. Houston is listening. You check the guidance computer. Program 63. The descent engine is armed. Below you, the moon waits. It is silent. It is indifferent. It does not care if you live or die. You grip the hand controller. Your palms are sweating inside the gloves. Go for powered descent, Houston says. The voice is Gene Kranz, the flight director. It is crisp. No nonsense. You take a breath. Roger, you say. Eagle is go. You press the button. Proceed. The descent engine fires. It isn't a violent kick like the Saturn V, it is a smooth, silent throttle up. In the vacuum of space, you can't hear the engine roar outside. You only feel the thrust through the soles of your boots. The floor pushes up against your feet. You are standing up. There are no seats in the lunar module. You are suspended by bungee cords to keep you stable. You grip the hand controller with your right hand. The thrust lever is in your left. You are flying backward and face down. Through the triangular window, you watch the moon rushing by. It is too close. The craters are no longer shapes, they are texture. You check your watch. You check the ground. Something is wrong. You are timing the landmarks. You pass a crater called Masculine W. You check the stopwatch. You are 3 seconds early. That doesn't sound like much. But at 3,500 miles per hour, 3 seconds means you are miles off course. You are going to land long. You are going to miss the smooth landing zone and come down in the rough stuff. Program alarm, Buzz says sharply. Your heart hits your ribs. You look at the computer display. A yellow light is flashing. 12:02. You don't know what 12:02 means. It wasn't a common simulation error. Is the computer dying? If the computer dies, you die. The eagle cannot fly without its brain. Give us a reading on the 12:02 program alarm, you say to Houston. You keep your voice calm. You force the tension down into your stomach. Seconds tick by. The ground is getting closer. You need an answer. If they say, abort, you have to punch the separation button, ditch the landing legs, and blast back to orbit immediately. We go on that alarm, Houston says. It's distinct to the computer. We go. Ignore it. Keep flying. 7,000 feet. Throttle down, Buzz reads. The engine slows. The vibration changes. The computer is flying the ship, adjusting the thrust to lower you gently. 4,000 feet. The ship rotates. The eagle pitches forward. You are no longer looking down at the ground. You are looking forward, toward the horizon. You can finally see where you are going. And it is bad. The computer is taking you straight into a crater the size of a football stadium. It is West Crater. The rim is surrounded by boulders the size of Volkswagens. Pretty rocky area, you mutter. If you land there, the ship will tip over. You will be trapped. You have to take over. You disengage the computer's automatic guidance. You switch to P66. Semi-automatic. The computer controls the throttle. You control the attitude. You are now flying the most expensive machine ever built like a helicopter. You tilt the stick forward. You pitch the nose down to gain speed. You have to fly over the crater. You have to extend the jump. 300 feet, Buzz reads. Down 3.5. You skim over the boulder field. You are looking for a clear spot. There, beyond the rocks, a small patch of gray dust. But you are burning fuel fast. You extended the flight. The tanks are running dry. 60 seconds, Houston warns. That means you have 60 seconds of fuel left before the tanks are empty. If they go empty, the engine dies and you fall from the sky. Or, you have to abort instantly. You are focused entirely on the window. You don't look at the gauges. You listen to Buzz reciting the numbers. Down 2.5. Forward. Forward. Good. You are killing your forward momentum. You pull the stick back. The ship brakes. 30 seconds, Houston says. The tension in the control center back on Earth is breaking point. You are cutting it too close. Drifting right, Buzz says. Contact light. A blue light on the panel glows. The 67-inch probes hanging from the footpads have touched the surface. Shut down, you say. You slap the engine stop button. The engine cuts. The Eagle drops the last few feet. Thump. It is a solid, jarring impact. The shock absorbers compress. The ship settles. It groans. Then, stillness. The motion stops. The vibration stops. You wait for the ship to tip over. It doesn't. You are upright. Silence rushes back into the cabin. But this silence is different. It is heavy. It is the silence of a world that has not heard a sound in 4.5 billion years. You look at the computer. You disarm the engine. You look at Buzz. His eyes are wide behind his visor. You key the microphone. You have to tell Earth. You have to tell the world. Houston, you say. Your voice is surprisingly steady. Tranquility base here. The Eagle has landed. Chaos erupts in your headset. You hear the cheer go up in mission control. Roger, Tranquility, the Capcom stammers. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. You look out the window. It is stark. It is beautiful. It is absolute desolation. The horizon is close and curved. The sky is a terrifying, bottomless black, even though the sun is shining brightly on the gray sand. You are the first living thing to ever stand still on this world. But you cannot rest. You cannot celebrate. We'll get to the details of what's around us, you say, but it looks like a collection of just about every variety of shape, angularity, granularity, about every variety of rock you could find. You have to prepare for the stay, no stay decision. You have to check the systems. If the landing ruptured a fuel tank, or if the oxygen is leaking, you have to launch now. You run the checklist. Oxidizer pressure, stable. Fuel pressure, stable. We stay, Houston says. You unbuckle. You look at the clock. The schedule says you are supposed to sleep now for 4 hours before the moonwalk. Sleep. You look at Buzz. He looks at you. There is no way you are going to sleep. You are on the moon. Houston, you say. We'd like to skip the rest period. We'd like to proceed with the EVA prep. Permission granted. It takes hours. It is a slow, clumsy dance in a phone booth. You have to put on the PLSS backpacks, the portable life support systems. They are huge, heavy blocks. In Earth gravity, you could barely lift them. Here, they weigh as much as a suitcase. You connect the hoses. You check the radios. You verify the cooling water. You depressurize the cabin. The air hisses out. The pressure gauge drops to 0. The door is held shut by pressure. Now that the pressure is gone, you can open it. You grab the handle. It is near the floor. You twist. You pull. The hatch swings inward. You see the white ladder. You see the black sky. You see the gray dust. I'm at the foot of the ladder, you report. You crawl backward, feet first, out of the hatch. You are on the porch, a small metal platform at the top of the ladder. You grab the handrails. You begin to descend. 9 rungs. Your boots cling to the metal. You move slowly. You are testing the suit. Testing the gravity. You feel light, buoyant. You reach the bottom of the ladder. You are standing in the footpad of the Eagle. It is a large gold dish resting in the dust. You look down at the surface. It is fine-grained, almost like powder. You take your hand off the ladder. You turn around. You are 1 step away. You place your left boot over the edge of the footpad. You hover it there for a second. Then, you press it down into the soil. That's 1 small step for man. You pause. The static hisses. 1 giant leap for mankind. You say the words. They travel 240,000 miles in 1.3 seconds. 500 million people are listening. But here, there is no sound. You let go of the ladder. You turn. You take your first full step. It is strange. It is dreamlike. You weigh only 60 pounds now. Your boots sink slightly into the surface, maybe 1/8 of an inch. The dust is fine, like powdered charcoal. It sticks to your boots. It clings to the white fabric of your suit like soot. You look at your footprints. They are perfect, crisp. Without air or wind to erode them, they will stay there for 1,000,000 years. The surface is fine and powdery, you report. I can pick it up loosely with my toe. You move. You don't walk, you float. You try a loping stride. A kangaroo hop. You push off with your toes and you glide over the surface. It is effortless. You feel strong. You feel like a child on a trampoline. But you have to work. The timeline is tight. First, the contingency sample. You pull a tool from your pocket. You scoop up a bag of soil and rocks. You shove it into your pocket. If something goes wrong, if the suit rips, if the engine leaks, you have to leave now. At least you will have some rocks to bring home. Okay, Buzz, you say. Ready for you to come down. You stand back and watch him descend. He moves slowly, a white bulk against the black sky. He jumps the last few feet. He lands. He looks around. He turns his head slowly, taking it all in. The stark contrast. The brilliant white ground. The velvety black sky. The blue earth hanging directly overhead. Magnificent desolation, he says. It is the perfect description. It is magnificent. And it is utterly dead. You get to work. You set up the camera. You take the photos. Click, click, click. You have to document everything. You take the panoramic shots. You take the close-ups of the rocks. Then, the flag. It is a nightmare. The soil is weird. It's soft on top, but 2 inches down, it is rock hard. You and Buzz struggle with the pole. You twist it. You hammer it. It won't go in deep enough. It is tilting. If it falls over on live TV, it will be a disaster. You manage to wedge it in. You pull the telescoping rod across the top to hold the fabric out. The rod jams. It won't extend fully. The flag remains rippled, as if it is waving in a breeze that doesn't exist. You step back. You salute. Houston, the Capcom says. The President of the United States would like to say a few words to you. You stop. You stand still in the shadow of the lunar module. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Office, Nixon says. It is the longest distance phone call in history. You listen. You reply. You are polite. But your eye is on the clock. Oxygen is burning. Water is cooling. Time is the enemy. The call ends. You go back to the science. You deploy the seismometer to listen for moonquakes. You deploy the laser reflector so Earth can shoot lasers at the moon to measure the distance. Then, the rocks. The box. You have to fill the aluminum sample return boxes. You are grabbing rocks with tongs. It is exhausting. The suit fights you. Every time you squeeze your glove, you are fighting the pressure of the suit. Your forearms burn. Your fingers cramp. You are sweating. The cooling system is working hard to keep your visor from fogging up. Kneel, head on back, Houston says. The time is up. 2.5 hours. That's it. You don't want to go. You want to see what is over the next ridge. You want to see into the bottom of that crater. But you can't. You grab the rock boxes. You haul them up the ladder using a pulley system. It is clumsy. The boxes bump against the side of the ship. Buzz climbs up first. He disappears into the hatch. You are alone again. You take one last look. You look at the flag. You look at the footprints. You look at the little plaque on the leg of the lander. We came in peace for all mankind. You grab the ladder. You jump. You pull yourself up. You crawl through the hatch. The smell hits you again. That gunpowder smell. It's the lunar dust on your suits. It smells like spent fireworks. You seal the hatch. You spin the handle. You repressurize the cabin. The air hisses back in. The silence is broken by the sound of the pumps. You take off your helmet. You look at Buzz. He is covered in gray grime. You are too. Your hands are black with moon dust. You look like coal miners. You are back inside. But you are not safe yet. Now comes the hardest part. The lunar module is actually 2 ships. The descent stage, the legs, stays on the moon. The ascent stage, the cabin, has to blast off. It has 1 engine. It has never been tested in flight. It has no backup. If it lights, you go home. If it doesn't light, you stay here. You will run out of oxygen in 2 days. President Nixon has a speech already written for that scenario. Fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace. You try to sleep. It is impossible. The cabin is freezing cold. The floor is hard. You curl up on the engine cover. You watch the Earth through the window. 7 hours pass. Tranquility Base, Houston, Capcom says. You are cleared for liftoff. You stand up. You strap in. You cover the abort guidance system. You don't need it. You need the main engine. You count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You punch the button. Bam! It is like a bomb going off under your feet. Explosive bolts sever the connection to the legs. The guillotine blades slice the wires. The ascent engine fires. The cabin shoots upward. You see the landing gear falling away. You see the flag whip violently in the exhaust plume. You see it fall over. Then the ground drops away. The horizon tilts. You are riding a can of fire back into the black. The moon recedes. The craters get smaller. You are hunting for Mike. He is up there somewhere, orbiting in the command module, waiting to catch you. You are flying a math problem. Rendezvous is not intuitive. If you speed up to catch Mike, your orbit gets higher and you actually slow down. If you slow down, you drop lower and speed up. You have to fire the thrusters in a precise, counterintuitive dance. The radar locks on. A blip. Target acquired, Buzz says. You look up through the overhead docking window. There is a star that is moving. It gets brighter. It resolves into a shape. A cone. It is Columbia. It is Mike. He has been the loneliest man in history for the last 24 hours. While you were walking on another world, he was circling it alone, cut off from every human voice every time he passed behind the moon. Now, he is turning the command module to face you. You see his nose cone. He sees yours. Eagle, you're riding a little rough, Mike says. I'm station keeping, you reply. You stop the Eagle. You are floating 50 feet apart, 2 delicate metal insects hovering over the craters. You creep forward, inch by inch. You can see Mike in the window. The probe on Columbia's nose reaches out for the drogue on your roof. Clunk. Metal hits metal. The capture latches snap shut. The ships jerk, then steady. The probe retracts, pulling you tight. Clang. The docking ring latches fire. 12 of them. It sounds like gunshots in the hull. You are locked. You are one ship again. You pressurize the tunnel. You open the hatch. Mike is there. He floats through, grinning. He grabs you. He grabs Buzz. It is not a formal handshake. It is a grab of pure relief. You hand him the rock boxes. The treasure. Then, you clean house. You vacuum the suits, trying to get the dust off, but it's hopeless. The dust is everywhere. You climb back into Columbia. You shut the hatch to the Eagle. It is time to let her go. You press the switch. Thunk. The eagle drifts away. You watch it go through the window. It looks lonely. It served its purpose. It will orbit the moon for a few months, and eventually, its orbit will decay. It will crash into the surface, joining the silent history of the rocks. Okay, you say. Let's go home. TEI. Trans-Earth injection. You have to fire the big engine on the service module again. This is the burn that breaks you out of lunar orbit. You go behind the moon one last time. Radio silence. You ignite the engine. It pushes you deep into your seat. It burns for 2.5 minutes. When you come around the other side, you are moving fast. The moon is receding. It is shrinking. Hello, Earth, Mike says. We're coming down the hill. The trip home is faster. You are falling toward Earth, pulled by its massive gravity. You pick up speed every hour. You shave. You eat. You sleep. Actually sleep, for the first time in days. The mission is winding down, but the danger isn't over. The final exam is waiting. Re-entry. You are hitting the atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour. You are moving faster than a rifle bullet. If you come in too steep, you burn up. If you come in too shallow, you skip off the atmosphere like a stone on a lake and fly into deep space forever. You have a corridor of only 2 degrees. You have to thread the needle. T-15 minutes to splashdown. You separate the service module. The big cylinder that held your engine and fuel is cut loose. It falls away. You see it tumble. Now you adjust the command module. A tiny cone, heat shield facing forward. You hit the air. Wham! It is like hitting a brick wall. The deceleration slams you into the couch. 6 gigaseconds. Your chest caves in. It is hard to breathe. Outside the window, the world is on fire. The air in front of the heat shield is compressed so hard it turns into plasma. It is 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The windows glow orange, then yellow, then blinding white. Pieces of the heat shield flake off and fly past the window, glowing chunks of burning material. Ionization blackout. The plasma blocks all radio signals. You are deaf and dumb. Apollo 11, Houston. Static. You are alone in the fire. You watch the G-meter. It holds steady. You are decelerating. The heat shield is melting, sacrificing itself to save you. 3 minutes of silence. Then, the G-forces ease. The white fire fades to orange. Then black. Houston, Apollo 11. You wheeze. Roger, we read you. You are through. You are falling through the sky at subsonic speeds. 24,000 feet. Drogues, you say. You hear the pop. The 2 small parachutes deploy. They jerk the capsule upright. You spin. It is dizzying. 10,000 feet. Mains. 3 massive orange and white parachutes shoot out. They blossom. Jolt. The capsule is yanked back. You swing wildly under the chutes. You look out the window. Water. Blue, welcoming water. The Pacific Ocean. You brace for impact. Splash. It is a hard hit. Water sprays over the windows. The capsule tips over, nose down in the water. You are hanging from your straps, face down. You hit the Stable 2 switch. Balloons inflate on the nose. The capsule slowly rights itself. You bob in the waves. You unbuckle. You take a breath. The air in the cabin is hot and stuffy, but you are alive. You look at the window. It is covered in salt spray and soot. You look at Buzz. You look at Mike. You nod. The hatch opens. The fresh, salty air of the Pacific rushes in. A diver in a wetsuit throws a biological isolation suit to you. You have to put it on, just in case you brought back space germs. You climb out into the raft. The ocean swells beneath you. It is rocking you gently. You look up. The sky is blue. The sun is hot. And there, faint in the daytime sky, is the moon. It looks small. It looks distant. It looks like a decoration. But you look at your boots. They are scuffed. There is gray dust ground into the fabric. You were there. The helicopter hovers overhead. It is a Sea King, number 66. The rotor wash beats down on the water, flattening the waves into a chaotic spray. It is loud. The noise of Earth is back. A basket is lowered. You climb in, one by one. You are hoisted up. You dangle between the ocean and the sky. You are dripping wet. You are wearing a biological isolation garment, a rubber suit designed to keep lunar germs inside. You look like a green creature from a swamp movie. You are pulled into the belly of the helicopter. The floor is vibrating. The air smells of jet fuel and sweat. The pilot turns. He gives you a thumbs up. You fly toward the massive gray shape of the USS Hornet. The aircraft carrier is covered in sailors. Thousands of white uniforms line the deck. They are waving. They are cheering. You land. The wheels touch the flight deck. You do not walk to the captain's bridge. You do not shake hands. You walk directly from the helicopter to a shiny, silver Airstream trailer parked on the deck. The Mobile Quarantine Facility, the MQF. You step inside. Buzz follows. Then Mike. The door is slammed shut. It is sealed. Tape is placed over the cracks. You are back in a can. You strip off the isolation suits. You shower. You put on fresh flight suits. You walk to the back of the trailer where there is a large window. Outside, the world is celebrating. A band is playing. President Nixon is standing there. He is leaning toward the glass, smiling. He speaks into a microphone that feeds into your trailer. "This is the greatest week in the history of the world since the creation," he says. You smile. You nod. It feels surreal. You are the most famous men in the solar system, yet you are trapped in a camper van on a boat in the middle of the Pacific. The carrier steams toward Hawaii. The trailer is lifted off the ship by a crane, put on a truck, then driven into the back of a C-141 cargo plane. You fly back to Houston inside the trailer. When you arrive, you don't go home. You are transferred to the Lunar Receiving Laboratory. The LRL. It is a bunker, a high-tech prison. For 3 weeks, you live behind glass. The doctors are watching you. They are waiting for you to sneeze. They are waiting for a plague. They are testing the moon rocks in the next room, exposing mice and plants to the dust to see if they die. Nothing dies. The mice are fine. The plants grow. You are fine. You spend your time playing ping pong. You read magazines that have your face on the cover. You talk to your wives through a glass wall on telephones. It is frustrating. You are home, but you are not home. Finally, the clock runs out. August 10, 1969. The doctors open the door. "You're free," they say. You step out. The air in Houston is hot and humid. It smells of asphalt and grass. It smells wonderful. Then, the noise begins. It starts the next day. New York City. You are sitting in an open convertible. The Canyon of Heroes. You have never seen this many people. They are hanging out of windows. They are clinging to lampposts. The roar is deafening. It is louder than the Saturn V confetti rains down. It is a blizzard of paper, ticker tape, computer punch cards, toilet paper. It piles up in the car until it covers your knees. You wave. You smile. Your jaw aches from smiling. Chicago. Los Angeles. Then the world tour. Mexico City. Bogota. Berlin. Tokyo. You shake 1,000 hands a day. You eat 1,000 banquets. You are tired. You are exhausted. But you notice something strange. Everywhere you go, people don't say, "You did it." They don't say, "America did it." In broken English, in Japanese, in Spanish, they look at you with tears in their eyes and they say, "We did it." We. Humanity. For one brief moment, the species forgot to fight. For 1 week, the whole world looked up at the same moon and felt the same wonder. You were the avatars for the entire human race. Months pass. The madness fades. You go back to work. You teach. You write. You retreat to a farm. You try to live a normal life. You try to be just a man again. But you are not just a man. You are the man who walked on the moon. It stays with you. Years later, you are standing on your porch in the evening. It is quiet. The crickets are singing. You look up. The moon is there. A waxing gibbous, hanging over the trees. Most people look at it and see a light in the sky. They see a flat disk. You don't. You see the texture. You remember the crunch of the boots. You remember the smell of the dust. You remember the violet color of the sky. You remember the silence. You remember the view of the earth, small and blue and fragile. You realize that you left a part of yourself up there. And you realize that you brought something back, too. Not just rocks. Not just data. You brought back a perspective. You look at the moon one last time. You wink at it. Then, you turn off the porch light, and you go inside. Those footprints on the Sea of Tranquility remain there today. There is no wind to blow them away. There is no rain to wash them clean. They sit in the silence of the vacuum, waiting. They are a monument not to technology, but to will. They are the proof that when humanity focuses its gaze on a single impossible point, the impossible blinks first. Visual. A montage of the faces of Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins, then fading to the channel end card. We often look at history as a series of dates and names. But history is lived in the present tense. It is lived in the heartbeat, in the breath held, in the split-second decision. Apollo 11 is over, but the horizon is always moving. If you enjoyed this journey into the archives of the impossible, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. The night is long, and there are many more stories hidden in the dark. I am the Midnight Chronicler. Keep watching the skies.